Welcome to New Thought Deep Dive. Each week, we dive into a refresher on New Thought spiritual ideas that leave you thinking. Everything about this podcast, from the intro to the script and the presenters, is generated by AI. For more information, please visit newthoughtnexus.net.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. If you are joining us again, you know that last week we started something huge. We kicked off this 4-week journey that we're calling the driver's seat.
Yeah.
All about taking the wheel of your own destiny.
Yeah.
And last week was intense. We popped the hood on the universe and looked at the engine.
It was a heavy week. We really dug into this idea that there is this infinite raw power, this one mind or source that's just humming along beneath the surface of everything.
Right.
And we established that this power, it's always on and it's always saying yes.
Always saying yes.
Yeah.
It's the engine that drives reality. But as we started to hint at last time, having a Ferrari engine is great. But
it doesn't do you a whole lot of good if you don't know how to drive the car.
Exactly. In fact, it's actually kind of dangerous.
It is. If you don't know how to turn the wheel, you're just sitting in a very powerful, very expensive machine that's just idling in the driveway.
Or worse.
Or even worse, you might be driving it straight into a ditch because you've taken your hands off the wheel and you're just letting gravity take over.
That is a terrifying thought, but I think it's one a lot of us can relate to.
Oh, for sure.
Feeling like we're moving, but not where we want to go.
Yeah.
So that is exactly where we are going today.
Mm-hmm.
We are moving from the engine into the driver's seat.
This is the pivot point. We're moving from the potential to the practical direction of that power.
So let's introduce the focus of today's deep dive. We are talking about the voice of the creator.
Right.
And before anyone gets intimidated by that title, thinking we're about to chant on a mountaintop.
Which is fine if that's your thing.
Hey, if that's your thing, go for it. We're actually talking about something extremely practical. We're talking about affirmations.
And the power of the word.
The word.
And our mission today is really to demystify that concept completely, because affirmations has become such a buzzword.
It's everywhere.
You see it on Instagram, you see it on coffee mugs, you hear it in pop psychology. It is so easy to dismiss it as just wishful thinking.
Or trying to trick yourself into being happy.
Exactly. Like you're miserable, but you're just pretending you're not.
Right. Like that fake it till you make it vibe.
That's it. But if we look at the source material we have for this week, specifically for this Voice of the Creator module, it is so much more mechanical than that.
It's not magic.
It's not magic. It's steering. It's physics almost.
I love that distinction.
Yeah.
And I want to really slow down and take our time with this today, because I know we have a lot of students listening who are brand new to this.
It's a good idea.
We need to keep the jargon low and the pace steady. Not rush past the how just to get to the wow.
Let's do it.
So let's unpack this idea of the word.
Okay.
So in the sources, there's this great metaphor of a kitchen to explain the state of the universe before we speak or think a specific desire. I found this really helpful.
Sure. This is my favorite way to visualize it.
Can you walk us through that?
Imagine the universe before you have a specific thought. The source material described it like a vast industrial kitchen that is fully stocked.
Okay.
It has every single ingredient you could possibly imagine. Flour, sugar, spices, vegetables, rare truffles, the works.
So infinite potential.
Infinite potential. It's got everything you need to make anything.
Anything.
But, and this is the key, it isn't a meal yet.
It's just stuff. It's
Yeah.
just unorganized ingredients
That's
sitting
right.
on a counter.
Precisely. It is everything, but it isn't something specific. It's formless potential.
Right.
In the text, this is referred to as spirit or the absolute. Another way the sources describe it is as a giant block of uncarved marble.
Okay.
It has the potential to be a statue of a horse or a table or a bust of Beethoven or just a pile of gravel. But right now, it's just rock.
So what turns the ingredients into the meal? What turns the marble into the statue? Because the marble doesn't carve itself.
No, it doesn't.
And the flour doesn't bake itself into a cake.
No. And that is the role of the individual. The thing that transforms potential into reality is the word.
The word.
And this is crucial. When we say the word, we don't just mean a sound coming out of your mouth.
It's more than that.
It is a specific intention. It's the moment the chef decides, I'm making lasagna. It is the moment the artist picks up the chisel with a specific shape in mind.
So the word is the bridge.
It is the bridge. It is the connector between the invisible, which is just pure possibility, and the visible, which is your actual reality.
Wow.
The sources talk about this ancient concept of logos, which basically means creative logic, or like a blueprint.
A blueprint.
Your thoughts act as a blueprint. The universe is sitting there essentially asking, okay, what are we building? It's obedient. But if you don't give it a plan,
If you don't speak your word,
it just remains formless.
that's actually really empowering, but if I'm being honest, it's also a little terrifying.
It is.
Because it implies we aren't just watching the show, we're writing the script.
Yeah.
And if the script is bad, well, we wrote it.
That is the core of this week's deep dive. You are what the texts call an individualized center of this power.
An individualized center.
The same mechanics that created the stars, that idea of moving from potential to reality, it's happening in your mind right now. When you think with conviction, you are speaking the word.
You're telling the kitchen what to cook.
You're telling the kitchen what to cook.
Okay, so let's get into the tool we use to do this ordering. Affirmations.
Right.
And I have to play devil's advocate here because I know what some listeners are thinking.
I'm sure.
Okay, so I just sit on my couch and say, I want $1 million over and over again. Isn't that just begging God for stuff?
Yes, the most common misconception.
Or trying to force the universe to give me a handout?
And the answer is a hard no. Affirmations are not about begging, and they aren't about changing God or the universe to be more generous.
Wait, unpack that.
Yeah.
If I'm affirming for health, aren't I trying to change the universe so that I'm healthy?
No, and here is where it gets really interesting. According to these teachings, spirit or the universe is already 100% good.
It's already good.
And it is already saying yes to you. Think of the sun. You cannot persuade the sun to shine.
You can't.
It doesn't matter how much you beg or plead or bargain, it is its nature to shine. You don't have to beg it, and you certainly can't force it.
You just have to go outside.
You have to step out of the shade. The sun was always there. Your position relative to it is what changed.
I like that. The source material uses a radio analogy that I found really helpful in explaining this already there concept. It feels a bit more, I don't know, modern than the sun.
Yes, the radio dial. This is a classic. Think about it. Right now, in the room you are sitting in, or the car, or wherever you are listening, there are radio waves.
All around us.
There's classical music, there's rock, there's news, maybe some jazz. There are Wi-Fi signals, cell signal. It's all there right now, filling the space invisibly.
But I can't hear it. It's silent in here.
Right. Because your radio, your receiver is turned off or it's tuned to static. But just because you can't hear the music doesn't mean it isn't playing.
So in this analogy, the music represents
Well,
abundance.
yeah.
Health.
Exactly. The music of abundance is already broadcasting. The frequency of health is already live. You don't create the music with your radio.
You just tune in.
You just tune your receiver to catch it. An affirmation is the physical act of turning the dial of your mind. You are tuning your internal receiver to match the frequency of the good that is already there.
So when I say I am prosperous, I'm not trying to convince the bank to give me money.
No.
I'm trying to tune my own head to the frequency where prosperity lives.
You hit the nail on the head. The text actually calls an affirmation an argument.
An argument.
But, and this is key, it's not an argument with God. It's a logical argument meant to convince the student's own mind.
My mind.
Your mind. You are retraining your internal receiver to stop playing the lack and limitation station and tune into the abundance station.
That shifts the whole perspective.
Yeah.
It puts the responsibility on us, but it also takes the pressure off making things happen.
Exactly.
We're just aligning.
Right. Alignment, not force. You don't force a radio to play jazz. You align it with the jazz station. It's a gentle mechanical process.
Now, if we're talking about tuning that dial, the sources highlight two specific words that act like the ultimate tuning fork. I am.
The I am. In this philosophy, those are the two most powerful words in the language.
Why? I mean, we use them all the time. I am hungry. I am late.
Yeah.
I am tired. What makes them so special in a metaphysical sense?
Because I am is an identification. It's the handle you use to grasp reality.
Handle.
The source material uses this great analogy of a hook on a backpack to explain how we burden ourselves.
Okay, walk us through the backpack.
So imagine you are walking through life wearing a spiritual backpack. It's strapped to you. On the back of it, there is a giant hook labeled I am. Now, here's the rule of the road. Whatever word you speak immediately after I am, you are hanging onto that hook.
Oh.
And once it's on the hook, you have to carry it. It becomes your luggage.
Oof, that hits home. because I think about how casually I throw things on that hook.
We all do.
I am so tired, or I'm overwhelmed, or I'm sick of this.
Constantly. We do it all day long. And metaphysically, what you are doing is picking up a heavy box labeled tired or overwhelmed and hanging it on your hook.
I'm claiming it.
You are claiming it as your identity. You are telling the universe, this is mine. I am carrying this.
And the universe, being that obedient kitchen staff we talked about earlier, says,
It says, okay, here's more tired.
you ordered tired, coming right up.
Exactly. But the flip side is true too. You have the absolute choice to hang peace or strength on that hook. I am at peace. I am strong.
But this leads me to the biggest hurdle I think people have with this.
I know where you're going with this.
Isn't that just pretending? If I feel small and weak and I say I am strong, it feels like I'm ignoring reality. It feels like an ego trip.
Like you're just pumping yourself up with hot air.
Yeah?
That is such a valid concern. And that brings us to the wave in the ocean metaphor from the readings, which explains who is actually saying the I am.
Right.
This is important because it solves that ego problem.
I love this one. It clears up a lot of the confusion about arrogance versus confidence.
So imagine you are a wave on the ocean. If you look at yourself as just the wave, this temporary shape on the surface, you are small, you are fragile, and you are separate from the other waves.
That's the small self.
That's the small self. That's the part of you that feels weak and limited.
Right. The part that crashes on the shore and disappears.
But what is a wave actually made of?
Water. It's
What?
made of the ocean.
It is the ocean. It's
But-
the ocean behaving as a wave. When you use an I am statement correctly, you aren't speaking as the tiny, fragile wave.
You're speaking as the ocean.
You are speaking as the ocean. You are recognizing that your substance is divine. I am statements are the ocean talking through you.
Wow.
You aren't asking to be the ocean. You are recognizing that you are made of the same water.
That connects right back to our driver's seat theme. I am is the steering wheel.
It is. It directs the flow. If you steer toward I am sick, the car goes there. If you steer toward I am whole, the car goes there.
The ocean flows where the wave directs it.
That's it.
But let's be real for a second. This is where the rubber meets the road and where I think a lot of people, myself included, get stuck.
Okay.
Let's say I'm looking at my bank account and it says $12. And I'm supposed to sit there and say, I am prosperous.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like I'm lying. It feels delusional.
Laughs the liar syndrome. It's very common. I see $12, so saying I'm rich is a lie.
So how do we get past that? Because my logical brain is screaming, look at the balance. You are broke. How do you quiet that down?
First, you have to validate that feeling. Don't fight it.
Don't pretend it's not there.
Right. The expert text calls this the inner argument, that voice screaming at you. That's just old habits. It's also what they call race consciousness, the collective worry of the world that says you are only what your bank account says you are.
So it's just the old programming fighting back.
It is.
It's the static on the radio trying to drown out the music.
It is. But here's the metaphysical fix. You have to understand the concept of the mental equivalent, or the inner mold.
The mold. Okay, let's unpack that. This seems like the technical fix to the emotional problem.
Think about it this way. Remember, the universe is the kitchen. Or, to use another analogy from the text, it's like liquid metal.
Okay.
It's an obedient servant. It wants to give you form, but it can only fill the mold you provide.
It needs a container.
It needs a container. If you wait for the money to appear before you build the mold of prosperity in your mind, the universe has nowhere to pour the substance. The liquid just spills all over the floor.
You have to build the container first.
You have to build it first.
That makes so much sense. We usually think, show me the money, and then I'll feel prosperous.
But the law says...
Feel prosperous, create the shape of prosperity, and then I can fill it.
Exactly. You affirm to build the mold so the physical reality has a shape to fill.
So when I say I am prosperous while looking at a $12 balance,
You aren't describing the 12 balance.
I'm describing the mold I'm building.
You are describing the mold you are building for the future. You are announcing a spiritual law.
So it's about authority.
Yes. You must speak with authority, not desperation. You wouldn't say, I hope the sun comes up. You say, the sun rises.
It's a fact.
You are announcing a fact of nature. I am is announcing a fact of your spiritual nature, even if the physical evidence hasn't caught up yet.
You are the architect looking at an empty lot and saying, there is a house here.
That's perfect. It's not a lie. It's a plan.
I think that shift from describing my current mess to building my future mold is the key.
It is.
It stops feeling like a lie and starts feeling like construction.
It changes everything. It turns you from a victim of circumstance into an architect.
Okay, so we have the theory, we have the word, we have the radio dial, we have the mold, but we want our learners, our new students, to actually do this.
Right.
What is a practical way to start this week?
The source material offers a great exercise called the anchor.
I like the sound of that. How does it work?
It's a 4-step process designed to interrupt your old programming. Step 1, choose the truth.
Okay.
Don't try to fix your whole life at once. Pick one area. Maybe it's health, maybe it's peace of mind, maybe it's financial abundance. Just one.
Okay, let's say I choose peace. I'm feeling stressed running around like a headless chicken.
Great. Step 2, create the anchor. Write a simple I am statement. I am at peace, or I am divinely calm.
Keep it simple. No paragraphs.
Very simple. Write it on a sticky note, put it on your bathroom mirror or the dashboard of your car, somewhere you see it constantly.
Step 3.
The proclamation. This is important. When you see that note, don't just read it like a grocery list. Stop. Take a breath. And say it with authority. I am at peace.
Like you mean it. Like you're the ocean, not the waves.
Exactly. You are stamping that seal on reality. And finally, step 4, the pivot.
The pivot.
This is the maintenance part. Use that anchor to catch yourself. When you're in traffic and you start to say, ugh, I am so stressed out, I hate this.
You catch it.
Catch it. Stop that momentum and pivot to your anchor. No, I am at peace.
That's like correcting the steering wheel when you start drifting into the other lane.
That's it. You are taking a wheel. Every time you pivot, you are strengthening the new mold and dissolving the old one.
I love that. It's simple, but I can see how it would be rigorous. You have to really watch your mind.
You can't be lazy with this. It is a discipline. It's mental conditioning.
Yeah.
But remember, you are the driver. You get to decide where the car goes. If you don't steer, the road will steer you, and usually into a pothole.
So to recap our journey so far, last week we found the engine, that infinite power.
Mm-hmm.
This week we grabbed the steering wheel, which is the word in our I am.
And the big takeaway here is that you are no longer a passenger. You don't have to just accept whatever scenery life throws at you.
You can change it.
You have the power to rewrite the script. Not by fighting the screen, but by changing the film in the projector. You do it through alignment.
Alignment. That's the word of the week.
It is. And as we wrap up, I want to leave the listener with a bit of a provocative thought to chew on.
Okay.
We call it the invisible command.
Ooh, let's hear it.
We've learned that the universe is always saying yes to your inner conviction. It has no filter, it doesn't judge, it just creates.
Always says yes.
So here's the question. If your life is always saying yes to your inner conviction, what have you been silently commanding it to be for the last year?
Wow. That's a heavy question. That forces you to look at your current reality as a deliberate order you place, maybe unconsciously.
And more importantly,
Right.
what will you command it to be today?
That is something to think about. Learners, take that question with you. Check your IMs. Build that mold. And take the wheel.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week for the next leg of the journey.
See that?